And no, I'm not. I'm going to Chick-fil-A.
All right. So, Macron ran as a globalist, and he
Right.
and President Trump had that sort of, arm wrestle handshake in the beginning. I remember President Obama called him with this warm phone call, welcoming him to the, global leadership. So now he's sounding in many ways a lot more like President Trump, and it seems like they got along great. What happened?
The reality of the world. I think President Macron knows if you leave Syria too soon, ISIS will come back. He understands that we need troops in Afghanistan to protect us against another 9/11. I disagree with the President of France on the Iran deal. President Trump is right. It's a weak, bad deal that ensures a nuclear arms race, but he's been a good ally. Michelin is in South Carolina. We love the French. And I think the reality of being president of a major nation during tough times has changed everybody a bit.
Interesting interview over the weekend with the foreign minister of Iran, Zarif. Let's play that. I want to get your thoughts on it, Senator.
Okay.
Those options are ready, including options that would involve resuming at a much greater speed our nuclear activities, and those are all envisaged within the deal, and those options are ready to be implemented.
So pull out of the deal, and we will, fire up those all of the engines of our nuclear weapons facilities.
Right. Well, President Trump, I believe, will pull out of the deal unless it's made better. What's bad about the deal? In 15 years, the deal collapses when it comes to monitoring the Iranian nuclear program. They can enrich and reprocess without any limitation 15 years from now. The Arabs assumed that the Iranians would get a nuclear weapon. They took the $150 billion that they're going to get from sanctions relief, build up their military. They dismembered Syria, now in Yemen. They're trying to make Israel's life holy hell. The guy you just heard is not a moderate. Their Iranians are all over Syria and Lebanon pointing rockets at Israel. So I hope President Trump will withdraw from this deal unless it's made better.
Well, Macron, we know, is arguing for just the opposite. But when it comes to Syria, President Macron very much wants us to stay engaged. And here's what he said about that.
Have you persuaded him to stay to help stabilize the situation there?
If we leave, definitely and totally, even from a political point of view, we will leave the floor to the Iranian regime, the US, France, our allies, all the countries of the region, even Russia and Turkey, will have a very important role to play in order to create this new Syria and ensure Syrian people to decide for the future.
Fascinating. He's talking about building a coalition, including the Arab countries. What do you think?
Right. I think he's dead right. I mean, we have 2,200 soldiers in eastern Syria, the home of ISIS, to make sure they don't come back. Arabs need to pay more. They need to show up in larger numbers. But the president would make a huge mistake to leave without conditions being right. Listen to the French president, but the French president should listen to Donald Trump about the Iran nuclear deal. The Iran nuclear deal needs to be renegotiated, or we should walk away from it. But when it comes to Syria, we need to stay to protect America. You know, you may be tired of fighting radical Islam, but they're not tired of fighting you. I'd rather fight them in their backyard than ours, and that's your choices.
He made a very interesting statement about the French economy and the protests that happen in the streets there. They have enormous entitlements in France, way more than we do, even if that's possible. And he said, would you ever back out about your tough stance about changing these entitlement programs? And watch this.
You have had these 2-day-a-week strikes. One demonstration, 200,000 people took to the street. Any chance that you will back down?
No chance. The classical way to proceed in France was to say, we have an issue. We will put new public money in order to solve this issue, which is not the right way to fix the situation.
Sounds like an American conservative there, Senator.
If you live long enough, anything's possible. Here's my advice to every American politician. Be as tough as the French. You'll never go wrong.
Senator Lindsey Graham, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much.
You.
Enjoy your Chick-fil-A tomorrow night. We'll be having the same.
Thank you.
So still ahead tonight, a power struggle in Tennessee between outgoing Senator